How are we going, folks? Welcome back to the Nightmare Cabin, and I'm joined yet again by Mr. Scott Walters. How's it going, man?
Oh, it's going well, man. Been a fun day for me,
It's
as
been
you
an
know.
eventful day. He's swam to the show today.
Yes.
So we are doing a another cornerstone of Christian metal, and today we are talking about what's the best one to pick? Let's do two. Sacred Warrior, and
Sacred Warrior.
yeah, again, this is another band I've only discovered recently. I'm playing catch up with the Christian metal scene, and yeah, so we're gonna talk about the band's back catalogue, and I'll get a history lesson from Scott. And yeah, this band were in the thick of it really in the '80s, and I suppose in that first, well, I suppose it was that first wave of the '80s metal scene, which I
Yeah,
suppose
absolutely.
they rode the Stryper wave really. Is that a fair statement?
Yeah, I would say
And
so. I mean, there was a lot of bands. There's a lot of Christian bands that came before Stryper, but Stryper definitely helped bring it into the
that was
mainstream.
they were the ones that shattered the glass, though, weren't they? They were,
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, there were bands like Petra that were around that were selling, a lot of records and were really popular, but it wasn't really the mainstream guys buying it. I mean, I
yeah,
remember back in the early 80s and I was buying records. I don't ever remember buying a Petra record back then.
yeah.
So
That's what I mean. Though, but Striper were the main,
yeah,
yeah, the
the
ones that broke
mainstream, yeah,
through.
we're
And
not just the youth group crew.
yeah, I mean, I don't think I'm not saying that they heard Striper and that was it. They formed their own band or anything like that. But in fact, I was a controversial take. I think they rival Striper and give Striper a run for their money. But we'll get into that when we start going into the albums. Um, yeah, I mean, have you ever seen them live over the years? Have you?
Yes, I've seen him back in those in the days on one tour. They were the Musketeers opened up, but I think they were still called Rapture at that time, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I've seen them a few times, and then Ultimatum shared the stage with them a few times at festivals.
I was going to ask that. Yeah, yeah. I
So
don't.
yeah, but
I
those are
can't
more
wait.
recent years. So
Do they
you know,
kind of do the off on? They do the occasional show or occasional tour.
yeah, they'll do the occasional show here and there, and they supposedly have a new album all ready to go. I don't know where it's at, and I don't know I don't know anything about it. All I know is they uh, told us the labels that I work for that yes, they have another album completed,
Oh right, okay.
and
There we go. Half the
it's the
press,
same.
ladies and
It's all
gents.
the same
Yeah,
guys that played on the original singer Ray Parra back,
yeah,
and then all the guys that played on the last. Well, Obsessions. All the guy, everybody was on Obsessions.
yeah. The yeah, Ray Perra. I subscribed to his YouTube channel as well, and I did think about reaching out to him, seeing if I could get an interview with him or get him to join this show or something like that. But I never got round to doing it.
I bet
But
he would do it. He's a super nice guy.
yeah, and hopefully, who knows? He might watch this, and I'll be able to reach out to him. So I've got Ray. If you're watching this, look, I've got all your CDs, mate. You know, come on. So
Well, post it on your Facebook page and tag me in it, and then I'll tag him
yeah,
in it.
okay. But yeah. So let's get into it, really. Then let's
Yeah. So they're
album.
Sacred Word. I mean, I don't know everything about the band. I've met them many times, but they're a band that formed in the mid 80s, like 85, 86, I think it was. Um, and uh they did record some demos before the first album, as far as I know. They've actually got other material they recorded that hasn't been released from their reunion periods when they did the Live at the Cornerstone album. They
Yeah.
got back together and recorded. Matter of fact, they played a few of those songs on there at the Live at
Mm.
Cornerstone that never made it to an album. So, but anyhow, yeah, they've been around since the mid '80s. They're from Chicago, Illinois. Yeah, that's pretty much what I know
Yeah, they
about their
got.
beginnings.
I'm just looking. They got a 12 track demo from 1987. Then another demo, but then in 1988, the band released their debut album, Rebellion, and yeah,
Yeah,
don't
there
get
it is.
cooler than that, does it? So they got the gear. They've got the. Let's see if we've got some good. Any good photos
Yeah.
here?
And I believe I'm 90% sure I'm correct on this. So this album came out originally on Intense Records. Um, and I believe it was Sacred Warrior and Vengeance Rising Human Sacrifice, both were from 1988, that were the first two releases on the brand new label called Intense Records. And this is
Yeah,
before Intense Record was it was before Intense Records got bought out by a bigger Christian label. At that point, they were just a mainstream label. They were supposed to have mainstream distribution. Matter of fact, if you look on the back of some of the original pressings of this Rebellion album, you'll see the it was you'll see the Intense logo, but right next to it, you'll see the Medusa logo. So
right.
they were being, it was mainstream distribution, mainstream label, and then they got bought out by, I believe it was the company was called Frontline, and then Frontline made them their like metal label for Christian music. But
Yeah,
Sacred Warrior was that first band, and I know that both Sacred Warrior and Vengeance were a bit unhappy with the fact that the label got bought out by a Christian label because that wasn't they never wanted to be that the band playing in churches, No,
yeah,
we're a metal band. We have a message, yeah, but every metal band does. So anyhow,
yeah. I was gonna joke. I was flicking through the book, and I'm gonna, and I'm pretty sure Scott has been involved in this to some capacity or another. And then there you go. Of course, yeah.
yeah,
You
I did the layout for that.
layout and
That
design,
must
yeah.
that must be the gold disc.
Is
The
this a gold disc?
came with a card and everything. Yeah.
No, I
Oh
don't.
no, is that a silver? If I can see the front of the cover,
It's
I
the
can tell
Metal
you.
Icon series. It's on.
Oh, I bet Icon series. That's different. Yeah.
Yeah, you're thinking of that one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which is what we're moving to next.
we'll get to that. But no,
But
yeah,
yeah,
I
musically,
think this
this
is a
thing
good,
go.
solid debut, full of
People
energy.
always com people always compare it to early Queensryche.
Well, I think Ray is he's very similar to Jeff Tate, and I mean that. Well, how can that not be a compliment? Um, yeah, I think he's got a fantastic voice and a fantastic
I agree. I
range.
think he's got a great voice too, and it's just great, straightforward metal. It does have a very blatant Christian message. They're not shy about it by any stretch of the
No,
imagination. So, but I mean, if you're offended by Christian lyrics, then avoid this like the plague. but
yeah,
but
but again, it's very blatant
it's
and
just very
and
good.
proud, but it's not. Sometimes it can be a bit sickly sweet as well, and they avoid that as well. But I think it is because they are sincere. I think that's the one when you hear music where you kind of wince a little bit. It's because you can tell it's being put on, but you can tell here it's sincere.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you could just tell they're a bunch of metal guys playing the music they love. So,
yeah, but yeah, there's a
yep.
nice raw, naive energy to this, which is always nice to see on a debut album where you got that where they're just throwing everything at the wall and just going for it.
I
And
will say that the lyrics on that album are a little bit corny here and there. But they're not horrible, like they're not like rocking for the rock, that none of that kind of stuff going on. But they do have, some tight, was it tight pants wrapped up around your thighs and something about the long earrings. Let's talk about the whole 80s metal
yeah,
look. But I think it's a really good album, but I really think they stepped up with.
with Metal's Command. Yep. So we've got the gold disc edition. I'm going to show off here while Scott's going to show off the vinyl. Oh,
Yeah, I've got several pressings of this thing because I'm not even kidding. I've done this layout for different labels
yeah,
multiple times. It's which is difficult because I always have to do something different, like because obviously we want the covers to be about the same, right?
yeah,
But you could even look at like, I know this is artistic dumb stuff people nobody cares about, but look how much brighter the one that has a sticker on it is than the other.
yeah,
Like you can see more
yeah. You can
detail in the
tell.
background and the logo's brighter. But the big difference is the back covers. It looks like it's two
Yeah,
different records. So anyhow, but yeah, I did them both years apart. So,
That must be
um,
cool though, working on albums that you are like, you bought the original ones and
uh-huh.
albums that you
Yeah,
know and
this one especially, and I'll tell you what, you don't have I have an original CD. I should have grabbed it. But originally when this came out, the Sacred Warrior logo was down here and it was squished and squeezed like this. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And then up here it said Master's Command. It was horrible. And it was like it looked like the name of the band was Master's Command, and the Sacred Warrior logo looked like someone had stepped on it. I
yeah,
never got it. So when they gave it to me to do, I asked, "Can I fix that?"
yeah,
And they were like, "Go ahead." So I ended up fixing it and putting the logo nice and big up here, and
yeah,
you
no,
know, it's really bizarre.
yeah,
I
no,
mean,
that looks like a
I could
classic cover.
if you didn't mind me stepping from the camera, I could grab it in 3 seconds and show you, but it's up to you.
Go on, grab it.
All right. Got to run to the other side of the music room real quick here.
He's got to get a cab to go to the other side of his room because his collection's so big.
See,
Look at this, ladies and gents. Look, see, look,
got it.
and it's nothing compared.
All right. Here it is. Here's the original cover. Yeah, I'm serious.
Yeah, look, what were they thinking? Yeah, I mean, I kind of, I get what the original graphic designer must have been thinking. He wants to get as much of the image in as possible, but yeah,
But yeah, the logo looks horrible like that. Anyhow, and then he really liked the design on the CD itself. That's hot
yeah.
right there. Anyhow, I know most people don't care about that kind of stuff, but since that's what I do for a living, I tend to
No, but that's what
take a
that's
break.
what people come to this show for. It's the small details, and yeah, we're both nerds in that respect. So
Exactly.
yeah, let's
But
get into the album. So Metal's Command. I mean, I think again, if we're gonna speak about To Hell with the Devil as being the album that sort of shattered the glass, but and then what follows. But yeah, I think this album definitely rivals that album, and I do think this is one of the cornerstone Christian metal albums.
so do
It's
I. It's just
quality.
great,
It's just
straightforward metal,
we
melodic.
we mentioned Queensryche. I get Iron Maiden,
Hmm.
um, and I
Like,
yeah, and I do get a bit of Stryper in terms of again the vocals because Stryper have very strong harmonized vocals as well,
right?
very melodic, and
I
I
was
mean
hearing some Crimson Glory on this one too. But
yes, yes, and both these albums actually, Fate's Warning,
mhm. Yes, early
Fate's
Fates Warning. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, the John Arch era.
Yep.
Um,
But yeah, that's not a song on here I don't like. I got a somewhat interesting story to share about this one if you want to hear it or not. But
yeah, go
um,
for it.
so there's a song on here called "The Flood,"
Yep.
which is one of the last songs on there. The guitar solo is played by Larry Farkas, who at the time was the guitar player for Vengeance Rising. And then there's some growled vocals in this, which is, now you hear that all the time when they mix, clean vocals and
Yeah.
growled vocals. That Roger Martinez did the growled vocals on The Flood here in that 1989 when this came out.
Yeah.
And well, anyhow, the story that I was going to tell was Sacred Warrior was supposed to play this festival called Up from the Ashes in California, and at the time it was about 2002. I was also singing in Once Dead, aka Vengeance Rising,
Yeah.
and so both bands were going to be sharing the stage. So they asked Larry and I if we would come up on stage and play the Flood with them. So I was going to get to sing the Flood with Sacred Warrior on stage. And then the whole show the whole festival imploded. Well, then they put together another festival in its place and booked most of the bands. Unfortunately, Sacred Warrior wasn't one of them, so that didn't
Oh,
happen.
so
But man, I
close.
was looking forward to doing that.
Yeah.
Anyhow,
Oh, that's cool
there's a
though.
really cool picture
Yeah.
of the band in the back of one of these. Oh, here it is.
Yeah, I think I showed
So I like that.
one.
I like that back cover a lot.
Mm.
This one here, the label wanted it to look old school, and that's so I went. We wanted to look like it came out in the '80s, so that's why I went with that black and white photo and the type all just down the middle. And anyhow,
Yeah, I will say as well. One thing I think Sacred Warrior do have over Stryper is the ballads, because yeah, I in the early albums anyway, at least from yeah, just that early run of Stryper up until In God We Trust, it was just always the ballads. It was just like, oh god, ugh. and uh,
Honestly, that songs like that. Yeah.
and it was just yeah. So to hell with the devil, it's like, to hell with the ballads. But Sacred
The
Warrior
funny
ballads are good.
the funny thing, yeah, they're not quite as sappy.
Yeah,
Is that the word? Sticky sweet, that just I don't know.
marzipan. Yeah,
Yeah, I don't
it's
know what else to say. But yeah, I agree with you on 100% on that. Yeah. Uh, Sticky sweet
like a
pop.
like a
Yeah,
coffee with 10 sugars in it. Yeah, just
exactly. It's yeah, and Sacred Word never really didn't really do that. So
they kind of go there, but they don't go over the edge. There's some nice piano led songs, but yeah, they
yeah,
keep it.
you're not gonna like here's an example. The Stryper song Together as One.
Mm.
That song is my wife and I's wedding song when we got married back in the
Right,
80s.
yeah. As I was saying that, I did remember you saying that. I was like, tread carefully, Joe.
It's okay.
Yeah,
But that's what it's for. You know what I mean?
yeah.
It's you're not going to play a Sacred Warrior ballad at a traditional wedding is what you
No,
know what I'm saying? Um, People play all kinds of stuff at weddings now, but you know what I'm saying.
yeah.
That's something that's traditional. That song is it's very sweet. It's not going to offend anybody. It just
Mm.
doesn't have any cojones.
Yeah.
So, anyhow, I
Holy,
still
holy, holy as well. I mean, you hear that once and you just remember it forever. That's great.
yeah, that's a cover song. So and
Oh, was
that's
it a
it's
cover? I didn't realize it was a cover.
yeah, it's a cover of an old classic hymn.
I know it was a classic hymn, but I thought the composition of it was
Yeah, that's their
original.
composition of it.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. I realized it was an old hymn, but yeah, the way they put it together, I thought was. But yeah, but yeah, you just end up humming it for the
But
rest of the
anyhow,
day when you hear it.
musically, I think they from first album to second album, I think they got better.
Mm.
Musicianship got better, the recording quality got better. Um, some people say they like Ray's vocals better on the first album than the second. I don't know why. I think he sounds great on both.
Well,
Um,
it's
but
always
I think
great
the
listening to a first album when the band haven't when you know where the band are going to go. So retrospectively, you go back to that first album and you kind of go, "Yeah, I know they're not there yet, but I know they're gonna be there." So you can just enjoy it for what it is, and that's why I was saying that it has like a naivety to it where they've not fully become what they're gonna become, but you
right,
can tell that they are going for it. They've not
exactly.
they're what they achieve on the second album. They're attempting this time, but obviously they're not quite reaching it because they've not got that ability yet. But you're enjoying the attempt, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah, I agree. But I also think that the lyrics got better as well on the second album. I
Yeah.
think that they're more thoughtful, with the exception of Holy, 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 which is outside that's a I can't call it a cover song, but yeah, it's an old hymn. So, but outside of that, I think the lyrics are just they're more thoughtful. You got to put a bit of thought into them, and they're not all just in your face. And everybody knows I'm a
Not
Christian, so
cliched.
I'm not trying to put it down,
Yeah.
but it's just not in your face Jesus 100 all the time.
Mm.
You know what I mean? That's what I'm trying to say. So I'm not saying Jesus is a bad thing. Please don't think that.
No.
I'm just trying to
No,
get
I
this
get what you mean.
levels
Yeah.
are like. So you want to
So
move on to number three?
yes, and 1990 we have Wicked Generation, and
There it is.
yeah, this one slightly confuses me. So I was hoping you could clarify. So this is a concept album. What? Yeah. What's going on with the album cover?
It's um it's just a young girl.
Is she the main character of the story, or
Not necessarily.
Because it says here is a concept album.
It's
Young person struggling through life, finally finding hope in Christ. They're not children of Satan. They
but
are
yeah,
who
I
he
mean
made.
this guy or girl on the cover is we there's the back cover of the
Oh right, yeah,
which is the a young girl crying somewhere by herself, and then this would be the girl who's see this was an addition. This is not what was not on the original pressing. This was added after the fact, but
yeah,
the original cover that's the original cover right there. But it's just a young girl. That's all it is. It's all in black and white except for the cross is kind of a purplish color. And this is another one where why did
Did
they
you
put
do
the six
this?
logo on the bottom? What did I do the layout on that? Yes,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
did the
This is
layout on that and this
yeah,
the vinyl because it was didn't come out on vinyl originally, so there are no original. It was only cassette and CD back in 1990.
yeah,
But again I think they stepped it up a little bit musically.
yeah. This one, the with the first two are quite straightforward metal, but they hit the nail on the head. This one, it's like they branch out and expand a bit more their sound.
Yep,
And
a little bit
they're a
more progressive.
little bit more experimental, yeah, with the song structures, but still very enjoyable, still very cohesive, and
Minister by Night is a really like, almost pushes the boundaries of like speed metal.
yeah, in places, yeah,
Yeah,
I'd agree
Minister
with that.
that song Minister by Night, and that's a song where he also really pushes his vocal range. You can hear because he's like intentionally he's screaming some of the parts out to get to add emphasis and grit to his voice so that it emphasizes what he's trying to sing about.
Yeah,
And you don't hear a lot of that on the first two albums where he's doing a lot of the high octave stuff and it's all very clean and it's got a lot of vibrato and that kind of stuff. But here he's almost doing like a abattoir sound or Agent
got a
Steel,
got
that
a
kind
bit
of
of
thing. But
edge to the to
a little
his
bit of
voice.
edge
Yeah,
to it on top of it. Yeah. Oddly enough, we talked Stryper earlier, but Michael Sweet, has started doing that too after more than some of the more recent albums where he was just adding some grit. Even on Against the Law, he did a little bit of that where he added some grit to some anger to the vocals.
yeah. I'm gonna do a Stryper retrospective eventually, but I have said on past videos when I've reviewed like current albums when they've come out and things like that that I actually prefer the later Stryper, like post reunion Stryper. Um, I like the songs on those early albums, but like I say, the yeah, there's that they've got a bit of more heaviness to them now.
Yep.
They've
All
yeah,
right. Are we going to move on to the next one?
obsessions.
With and I did that one in
I
your
think that the
hands
one
and these ones too. They're actually I don't know what the
that's a
difference is,
cool.
but I have two copies for some reason. Oh, one is a test
I
pressing.
think this is a phenomenal album.
Yeah, this was their basically their swan was supposed to be their swan song, that was going to be be it. They were done.
What they
Um,
even playing that at the time, or
from what I understand, they knew they were going to do this. They were going to do some shows, and they were going to take a break. And
oh right,
that's
okay,
basically what they did. So, I mean, I'm sure if Ray was on the show on the show, he could, give you 100% because I'm just going off of what I know, and some of that could be rumors, but that's what I remember hearing back in the day.
yeah. Obsessions, great song. Kamikaze, great song. Yeah, they're still firing all cylinders. It's pretty much a perfect
Yeah.
four
Again, Temple's
album
on
run.
Fire, pushing towards that
Yeah,
kind of power mad speed metal sound or Agent Steel, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, Wings of a Dream. It's just a fantastic song. The cover's a bit, I mean, I get what it is with the obsessions and the roulette wheel and everything, but man, that is some really bad early Photoshop stuff. Um,
yeah. It's nothing compared.
no,
Like
yeah,
Masters Command's just got that. It's just a classic album cover,
and
isn't it? Like
they didn't even
anyone
include
looking at
it doesn't
that,
even have the
they
classic
know.
logo. It doesn't even have the classic logo on it. This is the first album not to have it. So
Yeah,
I when I redid the album, I got criticized. Why didn't you do that like you did to the other albums and put the band's logo on there and put the logo up here and swap it to the bottom. I'm like, well, first of all, I don't have the original art, and I would actually lose a lot here taking this off.
Yeah.
But the biggest reason was is that logo, if you put it on top of this busy background, just it just blends into the background.
Mm.
That's the reason why we didn't use it because it's a very thin logo with lots of color in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, even if I made it just blue like this, it's still just I tried it. I still have the files.
Yeah.
It's just nobody it didn't look good, so nobody liked it, so we kept it to the original cover.
Yeah. Yeah. Fair enough. Sometimes,
Yeah.
that's what has to be done.
But
I
yeah,
do.
this is it, again, if you're into, if you're into Queensryche, the first four albums in the EP from Queensryche, it's kind of in that range. I don't think they're a Queensryche clone. I'm not trying to say that, but if
Absolutely
you like
no.
that, I can see you digging this too, and most people do.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's the same with Fate's Warning comparison as well. I think
Yeah.
it's got
Or
that.
Crimson Glory is another one that I honestly think they have a lot of in common with.
Well, yeah. I mean, if we say Queen's Right, Crimson Glory, and Fate's Warning, it's kind of like those three bands. When you listen to those early albums by those three bands, like if you take like the first two or three, well, say John Arch era, um, it's always now sounds a bit like a parallel universe of like an alternative road that metal could have gone down, but it's like that small group of bands kind of went there and then it just didn't go any further. It's like the rest of the world just went Iron Maiden, Thrash, and there's this little avenue that kind of stopped. You maybe argue, no, I'm not. I was to say you could maybe argue that Dream Theater picked it up and ran with it, but no,
Yeah, they never really got.
they're different kettle of fish. But
Yeah, they're just
uh,
different.
yeah, I would have said Dream Theater early, very early Dream
Maybe the
Theater.
first, yeah, maybe like the first two Dream Theater albums, you can
Yeah,
get some of that.
would have been Fates Warning inspired, but
Yeah, like Images and Words, and the first album, its name is Skip My, you know what I'm talking about. But
yeah,
anyhow,
but
but there, that was basically the end. I mean, they did put out a greatest hits album. I can't remember what it was called, or a best of album, which I don't even own because there was nothing on it new. It was they picked the songs out of a hat because
yeah,
because they didn't even like it was just a bizarre album.
I would
But
say if we just look at these, focus on these first four albums for the time being, then I would say Master's Command is the classic. Like if you are getting into Sacred Warrior, definitely start with Sacred Warrior. But I'd say Obsessions is the masterpiece. That would be the one. I think that's the best Sacred Warrior album. But you got to be a fan to get into it. You got, and then all the best one to get into them is Sacred Warrior, Master's Command. Sorry,
yep,
and
yeah,
then
I agree.
yeah, then fill in the gaps from there. But all four albums are great. You got a good four album run here. So yeah, then we have a period of inactivity, and then
They
well,
recorded a bunch of demos and stuff in that period that like never was released to the public. I mean, I heard some of the songs, and then they ended up playing some of the songs on the live album that we're going to discuss in a minute. But so they weren't completely broken up. They just weren't doing anything.
yeah, yeah, yeah. If I do get to speak to Ray, maybe I'll touch on that.
But I know
But
Ray ended up moving to from the Chicago area to down to Florida, which is, a long ways away. So that I'm sure put a big, you know, problem in things as well. So, during that time period. But you want to move on to the live album?
yeah, let's. I just wanted
'Cause
to get.
that's
I think I got the Raycon one because so you've got a whole series of live albums by a bunch of Christian bands called Live at Cornerstone Fest. You got one
yes.
by Disciple. You've got one by Raycon. Um, did Saint do one? No.
There was Sacred Warrior. There was Bride, Daniel Band. There was a whole bunch of them that came out
And they
all at the
had
same time.
all had cool covers because they all had these Gustave Dior biblical images on them, and
Yeah,
it was like released all as a series.
yeah. Some
A
of those
lot
are
of them are
great. The
rare
Deliverance
now,
was great. The
but there was
Deliverance
a
was
recent
awesome.
run of of reissues, uh,
Yeah.
done by your good self, and yeah, I picked a
Yeah,
couple
this
up
is a
recently.
they all of them have a similar cover. It's only three, I think we they did. Um, they were going to do more in the series, but these didn't move quickly, so I don't think that they're ever going to resurrect the other ones. Um, but in any case, yeah, this what happened was back in 2001, M8 Records and I don't know, the guy who now owns Retroactive Records, Matthew Hunt, had something to do with it. They basically uh took a space in the Cornerstone Festival, for a stage, and they were recording all the concerts, and it was all these bands. It was supposed to be Metal Night,
Yeah,
M8 Metal Night. So all these bands, Guardian, that was another band that did it. But all these bands were supposed to just like a band like Guardian, they were still around, but they weren't playing metal anymore. They're way off in some,
yeah,
alternative rock land. But it was supposed to be Metal Night, so they invited all these bands to play their metal stuff, or bands like Recon, Deliverance. There was one other band, Recon, Deliverance, Daniel Band. There was a bunch of them that weren't even together anymore that got back together just to do this show. And Sacred Warrior was one of those bands.
right.
Um,
So this kind of kick-started the well, it didn't
yes,
really, but
the whole reunion
yeah,
thing. Yeah. So yeah, there's so the unfortunately, the label was new and young. They didn't have a lot of money, so yeah, they basically they use those covers because those covers are free to use for anybody
yeah.
because they're way, 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 way past their copyrights.
Well, they look good.
Yeah,
I love that artist. I've got
I love his art too,
yeah. I mean,
but
I've got
it
this version of the Bible here, and it's got something like 250 of his images in it.
that's a
Awesome.
beautiful Bible, dude.
And you that's the Barnes and Noble edition.
Oh, that's
And
beautiful.
yeah, it's packed
Hmm,
with, and it's all in
awesome.
order of where you are in the book.
Yeah, there you go.
And yes, peppered all the way through. And then
Yeah, this is great. And it's amazing how many bands use this stuff these days,
yeah. Oh
especially
yeah,
like
get black metal bands and
black metal and death metal bands. Yeah. But in any case, this when when they decided to reissue these things, what year was it? Then these things came out last year because they've been out of print for years. They've been out of distribution for years, and then you can't really find them anymore. Oh, by the way, they also filmed some of the shows too, and had
oh really?
a DVD was released. It wasn't the full shows of all the bands; it was just partial. But I believe they filmed all the shows, but on the DVD, it's just some of the. It was a lot of bands, so it was just some of the songs from each of the bands. But in any case, when um when they came around to wanting to redo these things, we talked about the cover, and they're like, "No, no, we want them to be a live album. They need to be a live album. They need to look metal." So I did the Deliverance one first. Now, the Deliverance one's a double album because they're the only ones that didn't play inside that little tent. They played on a whole different stage,
Yeah,
so they had more time. That's why theirs is a double. But they love that cover, and that's it. We're doing that. That's going to be the cover series. So that's kind of how we did. That's how we came up with the cover for these. So then it was a task trying to find photos. There you go. Good enough of all these bands to use. And I'm like, there ain't no way I'm going to find photos of them from 2001 from that particular show. Well, guess what? There's a lot of pictures on this and that Deliverance one that are from that actual show. But the cover image on that particular Deliverance album is
yeah,
not from that show. It's from a
right,
different show. And the cover and this particular show, this particular photo of Ray singing here,
yeah,
um, is also not from that particular show. And the reason for that is these are the photos that actually are from the show on the back cover. And if you look on the covers of the Deliverance and the can't remember all the ones we've released, they have the actual photos from the show, but they're really low res. They're not cover worthy. You know what I mean? They would have looked awful on a cover.
yeah,
So yeah, those photos there, and they were actually pretty bad even to use on here. That's why I manipulated them quite a bit and gave them that kind of intentional rough look. And if you look closely at the cover art, I purposely put all these like dots in the artwork and like screening in his face. That's all. There you go. You can really see it
yeah.
there. That's all that is intentional. That was all part of the art. So I had a lot of fun doing these, but that's got nothing to do with the music. The uh the music's this one's really good. Here's one of the things I know about that particular show. I've played with all these bands. I know all these singers. I was, when I was singing Ultimatum, I shared the stage with a lot of them. So the Recon's live album is atrocious. Musically, it's good. Excuse me, but the vocals are really off. It's just off. He's not in key. He's missing cues. And I found out from Ray. He goes, well, yeah, because I asked him, what was going on at that show with the vocals, and he goes, we could not hear ourselves on stage. The music coming from the stage was so loud, and the monitors were so weak, and they didn't have the in-ear stuff really back then.
No,
He
yeah,
goes, the singers couldn't hear themselves singing. They even through the monitors. So he goes, so I was having a hard time, staying in key. And he goes, I really had to focus. And he goes, and the other dude, I can't remember his name, the singer from Recon, the original singer, he um he does a lot of like high pitched falsetto stuff, and that's really tough to do if you can't hear yourself. And that's the problem with the Recon one. But I don't hear that same issue with this one. So I think Ray nailed it despite the problems they were having on the stage. So it was the stage sound that was the issue.
yeah,
Um, and you can get away with that garbage when you're playing live and nobody's recording you because you're all into the show, you're bouncing your head. If you're singing something off key, nobody's going to notice it. But once it gets recorded and put on a record, you can
yeah,
hear it.
yeah.
But I
That sound
personally,
desk is
I
unforgiving.
love this. I love this album. I love the whole spirit of
Yeah, it's
it
a great set. They sound fantastic, and you got a good selection of songs from the four albums.
and a bunch of new
Um,
songs.
what
So
ones are
you've
new
got
on this?
Come On, Day by Day, and Prince of Peace. Those three tracks that are right towards the end of the set
Yeah,
were all new songs that were demoed but never recorded for an album.
I'll have to. Yeah, I'm gonna reach out and see if I can get hold of him and maybe get some more history and say,
And I'm pretty sure it was Ray singing on the demos
maybe there's
too.
a box set uh waiting for us in 100 years. the, the
Yeah, anyhow,
the Sacred
I'm
Warrior
this one came out
Archive or
really
something like that.
this one came out really nice, but it's got good sound. I mean, it was intentionally recorded on, with an actual recording, it wasn't all a condenser mic to a boombox
Yeah,
kind of recording. Um, it's not. I mean, if you're an audiophile, it's still live, but it sounds good, and the crowd's good energy, and the band's getting off good energy. And Ray really controls the crowd because there's parts where they, just like any progressive band, there's parts where they're rocking and they're heavy and they're up there and the energy's high. And then when it's time to turn that energy down, Ray takes the crowd right with him, and gets
mm.
into those song they do call Holy, Holy, Holy and Little Secrets,
Yeah.
two of their
I
ballad
mean,
songs. So
this is the thing as well that you always get the thing with our albums that are touched up, and it's you don't need the live album to sound perfect. You just want to capture the atmosphere, And
yeah,
yeah, there's a great atmosphere on
but
this.
I, if I could have, I mean, this is speculation and wishing. If I was around and I was owning that label, I would have at least had the Recon guy go back and re-record the vocals because they're just so off. It just sounds weird. I don't ever listen to it. I can't listen to it because it just
Yeah,
bothers me so
you should
much.
go look, play the
But
play the album in your
yeah, play the
earphones.
album and get rid of yeah.
Just
That's
get a
so
mic and just go for it in one take, like you were there again,
yeah,
doing it
belt it
again.
out. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, like
We'll
not
put a
like every other
box for you to
freaking
put your foot on so you can be,
most of the
yeah.
lyrics on Judas Priest Unleash the East is re-recorded because he was sick during that tour.
Mm.
So same
Oh yeah, you
thing.
always hear it, don't you? That Thin Lizzy re-recorded stuff on Live and Dangerous, and Kiss Alive wasn't even live in front of a crowd; it was just live in a studio. And you hear it all, and you just like, I don't care. I don't care. It sounds good. Like sounds like a concert to me. I'm I'm creating a concert in my head while I listen to it anyway, and that's not real.
Right.
So who cares? Yeah,
Yeah, okay, exactly. I just want to listen to the music.
yeah.
Exactly.
We can
So
all, you know,
ag-
but
anyhow, again, with long period of wait, nothing came out despite demos, and Ray was out of the band. He moved to Florida, and they were still together, but they didn't have a singer. But they ended up getting a singer, and then they finally recorded and released "Waiting in Darkness." Ah, you got the cool version.
Yeah. Got,
Yeah, that's the that one came out really nice. And the sound quality on is way better on the one that you have in this vinyl than it is on the original pressing that came out. I think it was originally an indie release. I don't even remember if it was on a
I
label
was
or
just
not.
about to say this is the first CD I've got that hasn't got your name on it, but then I've spotted it. Yeah, it does. Yeah, it is you. Did you
Yeah, I
design
did.
the cover as well? Do you want to tell us a bit about that?
No, I didn't do that cover.
Oh,
That one was that's the original cover. I did work it a lot because unfortunately nobody had the original art, so I had to recreate it from a CD.
where are
Um,
we on this? I
but you
saw
can't tell, can
yeah,
you?
layout and design by Scott Ward. Yeah,
Yeah. So yeah, back cover. I did and then the insert and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I did the layout and everything, and I did the cover. They call it cover restoration. I did the cover restoration. I do
yeah,
that a lot. I do that there's some labels that call me and all they just like, dude, we have this cover. All we have is a CD, and all I do is fix the cover for them.
yeah. This is
So
it, folks. If you are in a band, if you're an artist, if you've got a project, you need artwork or you need some formatting or whatever. Here's your man, Scott Walters. No Life Till Metal. Get in contact with him. He's a pro. I've so much of his albums I've got without knowing. I just because I'm friends with him now, and then I get an album turn up, and I think, oh, yeah, oh, it was Scott, yeah. So,
yeah, I think the version you have and I have also has two bonus tracks on there.
yes, yeah, yeah. Day of the Lord and Temples on Fire, the 2013 version, so they got re-recorded
Yeah,
older tracks. What do you
yeah.
think of
So
this album, though? Um, I don't know. I found it a bit of a funny experience because it's like,
yeah.
how do
Me
you
too.
compare
It's
an
not.
album?
It's 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 power metal for sure. I can see. I like the vocalist. I think he's. I think. Why
There's
can't I remember
nothing
his
wrong
name?
with the vocalist. It's just the album doesn't.
It doesn't
When you,
click,
yeah,
except for one song. There's only one song on there that really like grabs me, but the rest of it becomes background music real quick and quite forgettable. But it is well played, well recorded. I don't know why it doesn't click as much like the other albums do. And I don't want to blame the vocalist because I don't think it's him.
he's not the issue. He's not the
I
issue.
think
No.
it just lacks the hooks that the
To
other
me, it's
albums have.
too heavy. It sounds dark and heavy, and
It is darker, that's for sure.
yeah, it's and the riffs, the riffs on the first four albums are very clean and technical and melodic, and this is quite like a crunchy album. Like you just got jun, 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 and
Hmm.
I don't know. It just when you play those first four albums and then play this, it just sticks out like a sore thumb. It just doesn't match the
Yeah.
other four. And that's not to say it's bad. It's
No, it's
just
just
if it was a different logo, if it was a different band name and it was just members of Sacred Warrior, a new project, you'd go, yeah, this is pretty cool. If
yeah.
it was,
That there you go. It
yeah.
just doesn't have it just doesn't have the same feel as
Then
the
again, if it wasn't released as Sacred Warrior, it probably wouldn't have got half the budget or the promotion or the
yeah,
I know we do go like, oh, this should have been a new band or it shouldn't have been a thingy and it's new. It's like, yeah, but if they had done that, you probably wouldn't have been interested. It's
right. You couldn't sell it. That's the
yeah,
problem. Yeah. But
but
yeah, I do really like the song. I mean, if anyone wants to check it out, there's a full MTV style video for the song, the title track, "Waiting in
I've
Darkness."
seen that. Yeah, yeah.
That is a great song. That is really well done. That's my favorite song in the album. I think the song's got some hook, memorability. Um, and like I like you, I don't quite connect with this one like I do the others. Um, and maybe it's just like what's his name? Eli Princeton. I'm sorry, Eli. I know Eli really. I forgot his name. Eli Princeton sings great, so that he's it's not his vocals.
No, it's not at all.
It's like blaming Ripper. It's like blaming Ripper of Owens for the because you don't like the Priest albums or you
yeah,
know
no, it's not. It's not that. It's just it doesn't. It just doesn't sound like Sacred Warrior. It just sounds like a different band.
yeah,
A
sounds like
good
a power
band,
metal band.
but just doesn't seem to. It just doesn't fit with the rest of the catalog. Is all.
Yeah, but
But
it is the same, all the same guys, with the exception of um
I feel like got a different keyboard player and a different singer, haven't they?
the only well, yeah, the keyboard player, that's it, Joe Petit, and then yeah, that's it. So the but a singer is a big thing, man. The singer is your
Yeah.
he's your front man. He's your but Queensryche did it, right? They're still out there touring and making albums and without
Yeah,
their
but Todd
key singers.
Tori's awesome, and I think
Yes, he
he
is.
he breathed new life into the band. The last couple of albums with Jeff were just awful. Um, in fact, I saw Queensryche with Jeff on one of their last tours with him, and I walked off. Like
Hmm.
this is horrible. Um, when Todd Tori came on, they were reborn, you know, and I think pretty much yeah, all of the albums with Todd so far have been great. I especially like the first one they did with him because it brought back that sort of dark, dystopic, futuristic atmosphere in
Yeah,
the
yeah, I
early
agree.
albums. And there was some.
Agree.
It wasn't a perfect album, but there was some. There was like five or six fantastic songs that just carried it. You know. Then I think they
Hmm.
found the second album they did with him was pretty good as well. But I think the third album they did with Todd, they really found their feet with him. And the last album's good as well. And he's replaced the drummer as well now as well because Queensryche had a fantastic singer with Jeff Tate, but Scott, what's his yeah,
Rockerfield.
he was a fantastic drummer as well. And he stepped out of the band for some reason. And Todd did the drums on the next album as well. So not only did he replace Jeff, yeah,
Yeah,
the guy's just,
talented dude.
yeah, I hate him. So
I get it.
he did a solo album as well. He just played everything. It's just like, hate talented people. But yeah.
Yeah. Well,
So anyway,
we didn't
that's
mention that Ray also sings in a couple other bands
we're gonna
since
go to
then.
that now. Yeah. So yeah, that's the end of Sacred Warrior, and I'll say yeah, pretty much like I said before. Just to recap, I think Masters Command is the best album to start with, but once you get going, Obsessions is the pinnacle. But get everything along the way. And Live at Cornerstone 2001 is a good live album, worth picking up. And then the vocalist Ray Petra has got a couple of other projects. So first he did Worldview with the Chosen Few. This is quite I want to say progressive rock. Yeah, yeah, it's
That's
progressive rock.
exactly
Yeah,
what it
it's
is.
good. Yeah,
That's exactly what it is. I know a little bit about that band too because they basically came out of Recon.
oh, was
And
this Recon? Yeah,
so the
because Ray
chosen
did join Recon for a bit, didn't he?
I believe he did. That one we have to ask him, but I'm pretty sure he just
This
filled in on
sounds nothing
vocal.
like Recon though.
He didn't join Recon, but he sang vocals at a concert for them at a festival. They needed a vocalist.
Oh, I see.
Um,
Right.
yeah, but that's the way I understood it. I was actually at that concert. I saw that concert. But in any case, um, yeah, the worldview. So the song "The Chosen Few" was a Recon song that they were playing live during their reunion times in the 2000s, and then eventually they changed their name to um, or George Ochoa, the guitar player, and basically the guy who ran Recon, started doing that sound and moving everything over to that, and that became Worldview. And George is really the only original Recon member in Worldview.
Right.
However, the bass, I think was it the bass player or the
Well,
drummer?
there you got a different lineup on both albums. George and Ray are the only two that are on both,
Yes, that's correct.
and he was also in Deliverance, wasn't he?
Yes, George Cho was in Deliverance, and he played on the the Last Vengeance album, and he did the Last Vengeance tour, the US tour they did.
Yeah, I'm just looking him up here. Oh, he was on the Mortification album as well.
Yeah, he was the producer of the album, and he played on it a little bit as well.
Yeah. Oh, cool. But but yeah, it's a good album. It's a bit yeah, like I say it's progressive rock, bit dad rock in places, but it's doesn't harm anyone. It's a good listen.
I like it. I
But
like it a lot, but I like that style. It's very well done. The vocals really is what gives it its life. And I'm not trying to say anything bad about George's songwriting. It's just there's something about Ray's vocals that really just make that thing shine to me.
he's
Uh,
got a great yeah. I think Ray's one of those singers that just whatever he puts his mind to, it is just good. No matter what he does, because he's just such a great songwriter and vocalist. You know, he's just got a knack for a hook and a melody, isn't he? But this is what really gets going for me. This is the treat. Is Deny the Fallen. They've so far only done an album and an EP, but oh, these are great. And
there's two Sacred Warrior connections in that band.
is it?
Yep. So the guitar player and main songwriter in that band,
Yeah.
he's the
So Jonathan,
excuse me, he's the guitar player who joined um Sacred Warrior, and I believe it was 91 on after the third album was released. He played the tour for that album. He played shows, and then he played on the Obsessions album. That the guitar player. What it must be late because I'm having a hard time remembering names. Jonathan Johnson, that's his name, I think.
yeah.
Yeah, and he so yeah, he was the guitar player in Sacred Warrior during that time, and he's also playing with Sacred Warrior now, and so is Ray. So that's those two guys.
Oh,
But
okay. Well,
but
this is
yeah,
a lot.
that's
Yeah, this is
oh,
nothing like so. This is very modern, very. It's just as melodic and hook driven, but this is a lot heavier. You got like some real heavy hooks on here. So when you take that modern sort of meld of rock and metal, but with grooves, so think like a band like Seven Dust or I don't want to say new metal, but
no, not really new
just
metal, but
just that modern production that's just got a good drive to it.
yeah,
That you get
with
like with
very
bands like
very
Alter
crunchy
Bridge
guitars
and
and a
um,
very and I don't mean this as a negative thing, but it's also got a very sterile, like mechanical production that on
yeah,
purpose. A lot of the I can't even I don't even know who to
it's
compare it
still
to.
got it's very melodic and it's very yeah. You got really big hooks, really big choruses, but it's just got that modern crunch. The
Yeah.
modern crunch, I think, is the yeah. But yeah, awesome stuff. Love both of these. And then last year we got a second Worldview album, and I prefer this one to the first one.
So do I actually. I really
Yeah,
like that album. They do a
yeah.
great cover of "Don't Talk to Strangers" by Dio on there.
Oh yeah, yeah. There was on the second. So it's an EP. It's as long as an album, but you got five new songs and then like an instrumental at the end. But before the end, you get two covers on this. You get "Sing Along Song" by Stryper, great song, and a "Mission" by King's X, who I love King's X.
Speaking of
So
since you got me on and we're talking about it all, and we're kind of hitting the end here. The Are we live?
no,
When's this going up?
well, probably tomorrow now, but
Okay. Well, I got an advanced copy of this.
oh that's the Rocks Records, and it's the yeah celebration of Hell with the
Yeah,
Devil.
it's
Um,
called 40th Anniversary of To Hell with the Devil, and that album right
yeah,
there. Yep, it's got a. Let me take it out of the plastic. You see the cover better.
yeah, it's like a cover.
Oops,
Oh,
I
is the
forgot how to
Night of
stick it.
Fallen on there or Worldview or someone like that? Yeah, it does look
Worldview.
cool.
No, not Worldview. Every band on here is from the Rocks
Oh,
label.
okay, yeah.
So
I
yeah,
didn't know if either of them, so it's just
but
yeah,
I loved this. I thought, yeah, it's just another tribute album, and then it was just And I've got two other Stryper tribute. I used to be a huge Stryper fan. Um, Long story, not going to get into it. But in any case,
I know it. But yeah,
yeah, um, I don't listen to them very often, but this is amazing. I mean, these bands all took it, made the song sound like them. They didn't like try to make it, it's not karaoke. That's what I'm trying to
No,
say. It's
yeah.
very well done.
Those
Um,
type of albums, you get mixed results, but the good ones are good. But
right. You see, but
you,
all the
you
bands
can't.
they're not the same style, but they're
Mm,
all within the hard rock to metal vein. So there's
yeah.
no weird all of a sudden you get some country band in there, where
Yeah.
those always that's the kind of stuff that throws me off when listening to these. Whereas this one here, it's actually the entire To Hell with the Devil album. Each song is done by a different artist. There's one song extra, Soldier Under Command, which is the only band on not on the Rocks label, that extra track. They're actually on No Life to Metal Records label. And but all the other songs are from bands that are on Rocks, but the whole album's on here. So it starts with Abyss 2.0. Amazing. Well, it's just an intro on the original album.
Mm.
This guy made it into a track, and it's good. But every song on here is good, man. They Reign of Glory does Tell with the Devil. That's got the singer from man, I'm bad with names tonight. Yngwie Malmsteen singer who sang on Trilogy and
Not
yeah.
Tim Owens.
No, no, no,
No,
no.
Tim Owens was later, wasn't he?
He sang on his 80s albums.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, if I said his name, you'd know it. I'm looking it up because it's gonna make me nuts. Um,
Yeah, I quickly
anyhow, I can't see. It's too dark in here. I probably look all bright on the screen too, but just because I got that big ring light over there, I just can't see anything.
yeah, don't worry, I got you. I'm gonna quickly look it up.
Whatever, I can't see his name on here. But anyhow, I'm just bragging on it, and it's as a Rocks release. So if you're a Stryper fan or just a fan of this album, this thing is worth getting. It's really good. And I don't say that about most tribute albums. I think the other two tribute albums I have kind of suck. I never listen to them because they're just not good. They like have one or two good songs on them each. That's it.
Do you like Soldiers of Command?
What's that?
Sorry, I was just looking at the thing. Who the first two albums suck? What band was you talking about?
The first two Stryper
Oh, the
tribute albums.
tribute albums. I was going to say. I thought you said the first two Stryper albums suck.
No, 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 no,
Um,
no. The first two Stryper tribute albums that came out
yeah,
back, they both came back out in like I think in the 90s, and they were both
yeah.
just trash.
Right,
I
I've
mean,
got him. You, Mark Bowles.
there you go, Mark Bowles.
Yeah.
Yeah, he sang with a lot of different bands, but
Hmm.
I know he sang on Ingve's
I might pick it
Trilogy
up
album.
then because I saw the thing for it, and you know, like we've you've seen albums like that before, and I was like, yeah, okay, maybe. And then, and to be honest with you, I just thought the the the, the postage price alone, I just thought, oh, I don't know if I
Well,
can.
it will. This one's going to be available on Amazon worldwide.
Oh right, okay. All
Yeah,
right,
but it'll soon it'll be up. It's just not there yet because unfortunately we didn't get it in yet with record companies and distribution companies. There's like this month to 2 month wait between when you turn things in and when they can actually get it out there because you have to get all the orders through and then they have to give you a PO and here's what we want to order and then you got to send it all the stuff to them and then
mm.
then they have to send their stuff out to all the other places, all the different stores that order it. So but we got it in a little late, but it will be on Amazon worldwide and also in Germany. Underground Power will have is taking pre-orders for copies.
Oh okay. I might. I'll.
Helmet,
Yeah, I might go there and order a copy then,
yeah, because he's gonna he's gonna
or
he's gonna
just wait for
order.
Amazon. It might
He's
be.
gonna he'll probably get it
Yeah,
before Amazon. So because what he does is he takes all the pre-orders and then he just orders all of them at one time, and with a big everything else, and we just ship the whole thing out to him. He's a
yeah.
cool guy.
Oh, okay. I'll
You know Helmet, right? You've met him or talked to him or seen him online or something, right? Helmet Mueller from Underground Power.
I don't know. I might have done. Yeah, well, maybe.
Yeah, he's around the metal community.
Okay. All right. All right. Well, okay. We flew through that. Really, it was only five albums, but a worthy band to talk about anyway, though. So yeah, Sacred Warrior definitely. worth checking out, folks. And yeah, like I say, Masters Command is the best place to start, and then go from there. And check out Ray Petra's other projects as well. Um, yeah, I'm gonna have to reach out and see if I can get him on the channel. Actually, it'd be interesting to speak to. And he's got a great YouTube channel as well. So,
He does. He does a lot of interviews
as
and
do
stuff like
you,
that.
Scott Walters. I will put a link to your channel in the description. And yeah, just keep rocking, keep doing what you're doing, keep doing your layouts and your designs and stuff like that. And did you do the design for that Stryper tribute album, by the way?
I did the layout. I didn't do the cover art. The
Oh,
cover art was done by an artist in Brazil.
oh, right, cool.
It was a
So,
guy who actually went to the label and asked if he could do it. So they were like, "Yeah, go ahead." And you saw it. It was very well done. So,
oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
and I
it's
can
cool.
tell you, it's pretty much post a pre AI. So he didn't create it all in AI.
Yeah, no, that's good.
It's been in the works for a long time.
Yeah, awesome. All right, then, folks. So there you go. You've had a guide and a history guide to Sacred Warrior. You've got an advanced look at the new Stryper tribute album, and yeah, we'll see you all soon. Scott, as ever, mate, thanks for coming on. It's been a pleasure. And
Thanks. Just like hanging out with a friend.
yeah, awesome, man. Take care, guys. All the best.
See ya.